Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to At Home with Adam. Last week, Shannon and Amanda, Shannon, our incredible executive producer, and Amanda, our senior host, spent some time with some seniors reflecting on their time at Souhegan High School. And I want to warn you, it's a little bit of a tearjerker, but we wanted to give you an opportunity to hear from the seniors directly about their experiences, their reflections, their thoughts about Souhegan High School. So take a look and enjoy. Thank you.
Okay, we have a very special episode for you guys today. This week, we have a group of seniors here to talk about both their Souhegan experience and also their experience with remote learning. Welcome, you guys. All right, so you guys can just go around and introduce yourselves and talk a little bit about your plans for next year.
All right, I guess I'll go first. I'm Lauren Adrianson. I'm a senior, and next year I'm going to be studying digital marketing at Bryant University.
All right. Hey, my name's Liam. I'm also a senior at Souhegan, and I'm going to be studying marketing next year at SNU.
Hi, my name is Libby Mans. I'm a senior at Souhegan, and next year I'll be attending Loyola University of Chicago, and I'll be planning on majoring in creative advertising with a possible minor in journalism.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alex. I'm going to be going to the American University next year, and I'm going to be studying business.
Hello, everyone. I'm Fedor. Next year I'll be attending Penn State Berkeley.
So how would you guys describe your Souhegan experiences overall?
I had a pretty good high school experience. Obviously, there was the ups and downs that everyone experiences, but I think Souhegan did a good job at making everyone feel like a collective whole. Even though there were like friend groups here and there, like that's always going to happen no matter where you go. But I think Souhegan had a huge emphasis on unity, and especially in the past year or two, I think that's really been one of my favorite aspects of Souhegan.
So I have only gone to Souhegan for really a year and a half. I went to the school in Nashville before this, so I've only had about half the experience you guys have here. But I gotta say, as someone who came from a different environment coming into this one, it's been a big change for me, and I honestly feel like everyone here, the staff, the people, everyone has been super nice and made this place feel like home right from day one. I feel like what Lauren said, everyone is very like united. Even when there are little friend groups here and there, I feel like everyone can really come together as one at the end, and it's like a good, positive environment to be.
I definitely agree with Liam and Lauren. I was going to say my experience, I guess, has always like thankfully been like smooth and easygoing, and I hope everyone's had that like same experience in some way. But I think it's always been good, and I think we do a good job of trying to be like united as a team and work as a community.
Yeah, my experience definitely has been the same in a very, very positive manner. Like I feel like Souhegan kind of sets it up where you have the opportunity to meet so many new people and get along with so many people, and not just students, like teachers and staff and everything. So you kind of form these relationships that are so like close to you, and that's really been the best part of my experience.
I'd actually completely agree. I think for the first 3 years of Souhegan leading up to senior year, I was very removed from the community. And this year I decided, you know what, I'm sick of that. I want to be a part of something. And honestly, it's been a wonderful experience. Even prior to that, everyone's been lovely, but especially now, people have been just fantastic. And I think everyone at Souhegan is very open to others, even if, as Lauren said, there are friend groups here and there.
Yeah, I definitely think that's been my experience too. And I think you all put it really well, that we're definitely especially our grade, I think, just does a really great job like welcoming and trying to include everybody and making sure we're united as a grade. How do you think Souhegan has shaped you as a person?
I think Souhegan has taught me how to work in groups really well. That used to be something I struggled with in middle school a lot. I used to just like want to do my own thing. And Souhegan has pushed me to be more collaborative, both like in a class, but just also outside of it. It's made me kind of reach out to other people that I wouldn't normally, or I wouldn't have a couple years ago. So I think it's made me expand my horizons a bit.
For me, I would say Souhegan has probably in general made me more of a positive person. Like I personally feel like a lot happier going here than I was at my old school. I mean, not that it was terrible or anything, but I feel happy going here. I feel like I have a lot of friends. You know, I'm a lot of positive interactions with like teachers and everything. So I'd say overall, it probably made me like a more positive person for these last couple of years.
I think Souhegan taught me to like use my own voice, I think, because they definitely like it's like if you want to be heard, then like be heard. If you want something, you have to go get it and stuff. They taught us a lot of like independence, but also like being there to be supportive. But I think they like are really preparing us for like the real world because I definitely wasn't a good public speaker, like Lauren was saying like before Souhegan. And I'm kind of sad we didn't get to like present our senior project because I think that would have been like a huge milestone for me to like present in front of our class and like parents and stuff. Because I don't think I could do that freshman year or like 8th grade. But I think I definitely grew in that way.
I guess for me, I think Souhegan has taught me to be like more selfless because you're kind of at Souhegan, like you're part of something like bigger than yourself, whether it be like your class or just like a project. You really learn to like work with others and like kind of recognize that like, you know, yes, you have to focus on your own goals, but like there's also always something bigger at stake. So I think that's what Souhegan has taught me.
I think I agree a lot with Libby. I think that Souhegan does a lovely job of teaching us independence while still having that support system there. And I've found that throughout the years at Souhegan, I've grown to become a lot more myself due to this, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's a similar experience for everyone, but as you grow into yourself, you find that Souhegan has kind of pushed you into that to some degree. And I don't know, that not many thoughts. Just think it's nice. It's neat.
No,
I
I
know
would
it.
definitely. Oh, Amanda, do you want to?
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say I definitely agree. Like it definitely teaches you how to like be yourself because I think they give you. I don't know. I just feel like we're definitely like a really creative, and I feel like I don't know school like they really like make you like be your own person. You know, like they don't want like the same person. I feel like.
That's pretty much what I was gonna say. Like, I feel like Souhegan's an environment that really supports individuality, and I feel like that's definitely like had a lot of impact on us in like finding out more about like who we are and what we're interested in and what we want to do. And I think that that's just the kind of environment that Souhegan fosters, which is really great. What is one of or like your favorite memory at Souhegan?
So I would have to say it would be one of the many group projects that I've participated in because projects that we've done here have honestly for me been pretty interesting and pretty cool. Like making videos for Frank Gallo's class for Law and Justice has been a great time. It's been quite an experience. Gavin last year, Gavin, a lot of fun projects, honestly, that I got to do here that I don't think I would have gotten to do many other places. And just working together with people, like different groups of people, but everyone here is really nice. So I think probably doing those projects was something kind of underrated. Really fun.
I'd say my favorite memory is just anything that I did with Ethics Forum. That club and group of people really showed me like what I wanted to do going forward into college and stuff. Like I had the opportunity to be in the marketing committee, and that made me like realize that that was something that I might want to do in the future, and that's now what I'm going to be majoring in. And I just in that group, it's so many different people that I would have never talked to just because I didn't have classes with them or I wasn't friends with them in the past. And so this year, it's been really great to see how much we can accomplish when we all work together. Like Hope for Gus, that's definitely going to be one of the things that I remember most.
I was gonna say senior year Fang Fest. Definitely not all the points. I know we had like kind of a rough start and a rough ending. But I think my favorite part though was the like first assembly we had and then the last assembly we had. I feel like what always sticks with us is like the energy that we all create. I feel like that's like super unmatched, that like every year it just gets better and better. And I did the dance with a lot of my friends. And I think that was really cool. And I think it comes back to the same, like you kind of like have this independence and like makes you want to do stuff like as a grade and like as a whole.
It's hard for me to pinpoint one like precise memory, but I'm gonna kind of piggyback off what Lauren and Liam said with like just being like a part of like a group, like whether it be like a group project or like ethics forum, something like that. Like by being part of like a group, you get to like know people really well and then just talk with them, laugh with them, joke with them while also like contributing your efforts to something like bigger than yourself. So through just like working with other people, I've created a lot of memory in that sense.
Is it okay if I have two memories? Is that allowed?
Yeah, absolutely.
I have like a billion, so it's accepted.
Yeah. Um, I'd have to say one of them is probably homecoming. I think it was second homecoming. Because I just kind of bounced in between groups a lot there, and I thought that that was very entertaining. And also, I thought it really spoke to Souhegan's community, bringing it back to that, in that it is very open to people, and people are willing to talk with other people, and I think that's swell. And then the other one I would say is I agree with Libby. I think FangFest this year, specifically the senior dance aspect, I had a really good time with that. I don't know. I enjoy being a part of the community is all it is.
Are you talking about like the Valentine's Day dance? Was it like Valentine's Day kind of?
Maybe. I have no, I'm so sorry. I'm so
It's okay.
sorry.
I was gonna say no, but I agree with you because I was definitely like, oh, like I don't really want to go to like a dance. It's just not my thing. But I think that was really fun because I think we were all just like dancing and having fun together as a grade. And I was like, I remember turning to my friend. I was like, I really hope this is like what prom's like one last like hurrah and stuff. Like I'm gonna miss that. I think that was definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I'm really glad we added those homecoming dances this year, because there's something that we've never had at Souhegan until this year. And I know Ethics Forum did a lot of work to put those on, and it was definitely worth it because, again, it just like goes to show how like together we are as a grade. And like, I think the senior class actually had the highest turnout at that grade, which got us best points. But it definitely goes to like it kind of attests to like how our grade is. Is there a specific person in the building who's acted as a mentor to you, like has stood out? Because I know we have so many great teachers, but just like one or two teachers who really stood out to you as somebody who just like guided you and was a really good mentor for you.
I definitely, the first person that comes to mind for me is Elisa Knox. Um, she, I met her like on my first day of school, freshman year. She was my French teacher, and something about her, like her and I just clicked, and we had such a great relationship freshman year. Freshman year was a really hard time for me, and I went through a lot of tough times, and she was always there to help me. One time I came back to class crying, and she just let me skip my next class and sit with her and just talk it over until I felt better. And then she ended up being my advisor junior year again. So she's just been a consistent force with me the entire time. And she's just always been someone that I know I can lean on. And even though I didn't take French this year, so I didn't see her, I still saw her throughout the building, and I knew that I could come to her no matter what it was or anything.
Yeah, for me, obviously I only got like half the teachers you guys did, so not a whole lot to choose from. But even that, there's multiple names that would come to mind for me for people who have been really helpful in getting me through these last 2 years and preparing me for college. But probably the most impactful I'd have to say is somebody who doesn't teach here anymore, but Holly Tlapa from last year. I took her marketing class or advertising class and her personal finance class. So I had 3 classes with her last year. And I feel like she really taught me a lot of things about college and about like um, my financial future that I wouldn't have heard a lot of other places. And I think that was really important because some of the things that she said um, were things that I remembered when selecting my college and everything, and making those choices. So probably Holly Tlapa, but also Jess Tremblay. She was my advisor last year, and she did an awesome job. I got totally spoiled with advisory because my advisory last year was awesome. She was awesome. So, so many names that come to mind too, because of just how awesome and positive our staff is.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with Liam on that. I think I could say like I could turn to like a lot and like every like all the teachers in our building if I like needed something. I think they'd always like go the extra mile for you if you actually like did need something. But I think as like a student, I think Steve Dreher really pushed me junior year in AP Comp as like a writer and like a student, like a thinker overall, I think. I think he like made sure that I would always just push myself and get better and better until like I was proud of like a piece to like present in class, which is definitely something I can like carry on to like other classes in the future.
Ooh, this is a tough one because there are just so many names I could use right now. I mean, Amy Pham, Amy Gibbons, Chris Brooks, Kevin Proctor. Like there are just so many names I could use, but the one name that I do want to use is Kelly Braley. I'd say is probably the person like who's really mentored me. And I first met Kelly when me and Nolan Dodge switched into her class like 2 weeks late after like really doing bad in Spanish. But she kind of just like embraced us, and we really since that moment were just like able to joke around and have a lot of fun. So she kind of taught me to just like enjoy life and like just live in the moment. So I'd say Kelly.
I would say when I saw this question, it was on site. I knew I had to say Gavin Sturgis because he has been okay. You know, in 8th grade when we have like our step up day and we get put in groups with us one teacher and then a group of kids and you like whatever. He was my man, and I was like, man, I hope I have this teacher because he is dope as all heck. And then in junior year last year, that's when I first had him, and I was like, yes, um, and ever since then, he's just been incredibly supportive of me and of what I want to do, and I don't know, he's just made a huge impact on my life, even as maybe perhaps not, you know, the best student. He's been very patient, and he'll, you know, help me when I need help, and I don't know, I can't put into words how much I appreciate Gavin. He genuinely has been such a good figure in my life.
Yeah, those are all really great answers and such great teachers. This is the one question I'm going to answer because I have so much appreciation for so many teachers in the building. Elisa Knox, who is my senior mentor and has been my rock in the school since freshman year. Chris Brooks has just been like the most amazing ethics forum leader and just has helped me so much with my senior project and just with my life in general, honestly. But also Adam Theriault has really pushed me and driven me this year to get into journalism more. And I'm going to try to pursue it in college. So that's definitely something that I really appreciate. How have you dealt with the realities of your senior year being cut short? I know this is a tough question, but
How have I dealt with the realities of my senior year being cut short? I guess I would say it's definitely been a little difficult to accept that things are going to be different and whatnot. But at the same time, the outlook that I've kind of taken is that, like, yes, it's certainly upsetting to me and disappointing to everyone else. But I feel like there's kind of something bigger at play. Like people are really struggling with this disease. People are passing away. People are getting really sick, and it's just been tough for a lot of people, health wise and personally and emotionally and whatnot. So I think if I have to do whatever I can to make sure that those people are okay, then I'm going to do it. So if that means, having a different graduation, although in my heart I'm disappointed with that, I know that I can kind of live with the fact that I'm doing whatever I can to make sure that everyone else is safe and everyone else is protected. So that would be my answer.
For me, it kind of feels like a reset button. The past couple years, I've struggled a lot with my anxiety, and that's caused me to miss out on some opportunities. And especially this past year, I've not hung out with friends just because I just felt anxious for some reason, and I've turned down a lot of opportunities that I'm now wishing I didn't. So now that I'm seeing like, okay, like my time was cut short, like from going forward, like I'm definitely not gonna let my anxiety like dictate like what I do, because from this point on, like in college, like I'm just gonna try to do whatever I want to do, and realize that some things might get cut short at other times in my life, and I'm just going to try to live life to the fullest. I know that sounds cheesy, but that's honestly kind of like my new mindset at this point. So
Wow, yeah. Alex and Lauren are both very right. Obviously this is like a really serious thing, and anything that we could do to try and help with that, whether it's have a different graduation or maybe not do some of the things that we wanted to do with seniors. Obviously, that's really hard, and there's no getting around that. I mean, um, it's not fun, but I think that most of us, we're sitting around for this a lot. And for me, I would just like not let it be an excuse to kind of not do what you want, or kind of, I guess my view is we've come this far. Everyone's worked really hard to get to this point. We've all come from different places to get to this point. And even though this virus is kind of putting a damper on like the second half of senior year, and we're not getting to do everything that we want, everyone has still put in an insane amount of work to get here. And I think that that is still something that's very recognized, and that people are here for these seniors that are having a rough time.
I agree with everyone. I think I haven't fully like dealt with the reality of it being cut short. I feel like it's like still like in a mindset like, oh, we're gonna go back or something, or like everything's gonna be normal soon. But I think with like the support of like everyone, like family, friends, and like our whole community and like the staff of Souhegan for sure. Just their kindness and like trying to keep everyone's like spirits up, and like making all of our seniors like feel special, I think is really great. I think it definitely helps, and knowing like we're all in this together and stuff definitely makes it better. And I think
I very much agree with Alex and Lauren as well. Specifically, Lauren, I really do understand like not feeling like you've missed out on a lot, and then it being cut short, and now you're like, oh my god, I've wasted so much like time in high school. And it's kind of, I actually wrote my um never mind, I forget the name of the paper. I wrote a paper about the fact that a lot of people around our age and in early 20s tend to have this existential dread about the fact that we're like, we want our lives to be like this perfect teen movie, and given how it is right now, that's not going to happen, but that's not going to happen anyway. So I feel like this kind of, to some degree, helps me cope with the fact that this isn't some like coming of age film anyway. It's reality, and we're going into life. Um, so to some degree, I can appreciate the experience for that. Obviously, not appreciating the virus and the people passing away. That's not very good. Uh, but in terms of life feeling like it's passed me by, that is a scary thought. But I feel like I'm going to learn to cope with that better. And one, take control of my own life, but two, also be able to realize that it's not going to live up to some fantasy in my head, and that's okay.
So how are we feeling about this proposed graduation plan?
No, I guess I can. So I personally, I was so happy when I saw it. When I got the text notification, and it said like an update about graduation, and I've never looked at a text faster. I didn't even realize how important it was to me actually until I saw it. But and then I watched the video and saw Adam's plan, and honestly, I think that given what we had to work with at this point, and how much I mean, the administration knew and the staff knew how much these seniors, all of us, wanted to have some kind of graduation, like in person, I'm assuming, this year. And I think that if they can do that and make this plan work and have it so that it's a safe place for everyone, I think that's awesome. I think it's great, and I would love to be there if we can make this work and get everyone together safely, because I think it's the best option that we have at this point, and I think it's a lot better than some other high schools who are just doing like a virtual whatever. So I'm really happy personally.
I would definitely agree. I really wanted like an in-person graduation. I know like everyone wanted like something. I think I was definitely conflicted though when like I like, you know, like I was super happy like when I saw like we were having an in-person graduation, but like the more like I was reading through it, like it does give you like mixed emotions and everything, because it's like, okay, wow, like it's in person, but like it's not going to be the same. And that's, you know, really disappointing. And like hearing like, you know, 6 feet apart from like all the students that like you've grown up with, like that's really sad. But I know it's something that like we have to do, obviously, and it's really important. And I guess I'm just like thankful that we're having this opportunity to do something like in person still. And I know like Adam was like really hopeful and everything, and was doing his best to like give us something that like we really wanted. So I guess I'm just happy that like we get this opportunity that I know like a lot of other schools definitely don't have, which is really nice.
I just want to tell you guys this. I don't care if it's in the interview, but it might not fit. I just got a text from Ann Clifton Waite that prom is officially not happening this year. So perfect timing to announce that, but I guess I'll give my answer.
Maybe we can have our big break and announce it in the video.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I can ask the question about how we feel about prom being canceled.
Yeah.
We're all just disappointed, so it's really there's really no point.
Yeah.
But
Dang.
yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
Well, at least I didn't buy a dress. All right, go ahead.
I'm really happy with the graduation plans. Like all of you guys said, I really wanted it to be in person because I think that's the major thing. I want my parents to be able to take a picture of me walking across the stage, even if I can't have pictures with my friends afterwards, like at the school. I'm glad it's in person. I am upset that we'll be missing prom, especially because last year I didn't have the greatest experience, and I was really hoping to make a better one this year, and I can't do that now, so it's a little tough in regards to some of the smaller activities that we're going to be missing. But ultimately, I know the administration is doing everything they can with the health guidelines, and I couldn't ask for anything more.
I'm sorry. I, as much as anyone here, love the idea of an in-person graduation. I really do think it's important that we have communal gatherings. Maybe not right now, given the times. But, you know, in general, I think that that's very important for a community. And I think that graduation really brings people together, and it should be a celebration like, oh my God, you did this, guys. And I think that's fantastic. I genuinely, I'm glad that we're having in-person graduation. However, I'm very concerned simply due to the fact that I'm not sure, safety-wise, how wise that is. I think we're jumping way too quickly into opening things up. I mean, just like countrywide as is, but then you come down to groups of people being together, and I'm not sure that's very safe, especially considering I feel like a lot of parents in Amherst travel for work, and as much as I want a big old, face-to-face gathering, I'm not sure how safe it is. And I think we're putting, in general, I'm not talking specifically Souhegan, I think very generally, I think we're putting our wants over safeties. And that I wonder how much of those wants over safeties have kind of been put into this graduation plan. Again, as said, I want it as much as the next person, but I worry that we're going to stop taking this whole situation as seriously, and then we're going to have a similar situation to what happened on an island in Japan, where they were like, it's fine, we're good enough, we can reopen and it'll be safe, kind of like what we're doing right now in the US, and then they had a very, very bad second wave of the virus. That's my worry. I just have concerns, so.
I guess I would definitely second those concerns. That was like when I first heard about it, that was my initial thought. Like one, like, okay, is this like now that this is happening, like should this happen? So I kind of was thinking about it from that viewpoint. Like I was definitely concerned with all the health concerns with such a large public gathering, and I know that the country is definitely rushing into this. But I guess on that note, I am happy that we are having an in-person graduation because I guess my viewpoint was like, if you were to ask me if we were having graduation 3 weeks ago, I would have told you no. So I think it's definitely cool that we're getting to have this like in-person experience because that's really what graduation is about. But at the same time, I am concerned with like so many people gathering in one place, like, and not just for like the health concerns too, but like, are people going to be like upset if we do this and they see it on like Facebook or something, and then people complain, and then it gets to this big thing. So I don't know what the like repercussions are going to be from having an in-person graduation, but I'm definitely excited that we get to have that opportunity.
Yeah, I think those are all like valid points, and I definitely share some of the concern and definitely some of the gratitude that this is happening. Is there any parting or closing message that you have for your senior class or just the community in general?
I'll go. I'm gonna say honestly, this is gonna sound like bad advice, but don't care as much. Like obviously care to a healthy degree, but it really, when it comes down to worrying about things and worrying about yourself, just do what you need to do to like take care of yourself and others around you. But like, do what makes you happy. Like you don't have to conform to whatever people want you to do first and foremost. You gotta, if something brings you joy, you should do it. Don't be afraid to be unabashedly yourself and to show your beliefs.
I guess I'd say don't have too high of expectations about anything, because that was definitely something I struggled with because like I imagined high school would be this great experience. And don't get me wrong, Souhegan has provided me with so many opportunities, but it definitely had a lot more low points than I expected, which is fine. I ended up handling them fine and I got over them, but I definitely went into it having a unrealistic expectation, kind of like Fedya was saying about like this coming of age movie. Like it's not that, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be. And that's definitely something I'm taking with me to college. I'm just going to try to go in with no expectations and just be myself and hope that that all works out.
Say something. I was gonna say that I think try to get to know everyone in your grade like a little bit better. I think everyone in our class is pretty great, and I think that I kind of wish that I got to know everyone a little bit better. And I know I had opportunities to, but I also think try to step out of your comfort zone.
I guess for me, I would say just like live in the moment, you know. Um, don't like dwell on the past too much or worry about the future because I feel like for me, my time in high school has gone by like in the blink of an eye. I still like think back to winter session and it feels like just yesterday. So, just live in the moment. Just enjoy every second that you have in college or like in the future in life pretty much because that really is like the ultimate goal. So that would be my advice.
Uh, I would just go back to what I said earlier, which is I wouldn't don't let this whole situation be an excuse for not doing what you want to do. Obviously, we're all affected by this differently. We're not all affected completely the same. I mean, we're missing out on some of the same experiences, but either way, the class of 2020 is cemented in history as we dealt with 9/11 growing up, and now, or like when we were born, most of us, And now, we're dealing with this global pandemic, the year we're putting ourselves out into the world. And that's huge, obviously. But I would say, employers looking at resumes 20 years in the future are going to say, oh, class of 2020, they graduating during a pandemic. And for me, I would just picture, are you going to let that be like an excuse? Like, oh, they were graduating during the class of 2020. Maybe that's why they didn't do so well with here or here. Or are they going to say, oh, they graduated during this global pandemic and they were able to go on and continue to do so much more. And I think that's kind of where it is for me is don't let this ruin what you want to do. Continue working hard. Everyone worked really hard to get where we are now, and I'd say don't let it ruin that. Keep working at what you want to do and make yourself better, whether that's going to college or trade school or whatever.
Awesome. Okay, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for coming and sharing your insight. I think it was really valuable for the community to hear how we're feeling as a senior class and how you guys are feeling individually. So I really appreciate you guys taking your time out of your day to come on and talk to me for a little bit. Bye.
Well, that was amazing, wasn't it? That was really well done. I want to thank Shannon and Amanda for doing this this year. And I want to thank all of our teachers for doing an absolutely outstanding job this entire school year, especially from March forward with remote learning. I want to thank our parents for all of their support and helping to become remote learning specialists, whether you wanted to be or not, with no warning. And in particular, I want to thank our students. Our students have rolled with an incredible challenge and have risen above and done a great job. And I want to share with you that these At Home with Adam segments are going to continue into next school year. Adam Theriault at the high school has already approached me and with some students has asked if this project could be something that they do as part of their coursework for sort of a real life application of how to produce shows, how to film shows, edit, etc. So we're going to continue these in this format. I think my Friday videos will transition more to this format where we have some students hosting and guests and that sort of thing, and more of an interactive sort of show. So I hope you look forward to that. We have several things that we'll be talking about over the summer. We all know that, especially the fall reopening and how that will happen, what that will look like. So I will still be providing some updates over the summer. They may not be called At Home with Adam, but I'll give you updates the entire way. So be safe, take care. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.